So, something that I wanted to bring up when it comes to how people measure energy of bows and arrows. And I think this is probably where a lot of people misunderstand what they are talking about. I could be wrong. I'm not a scientist, but I'm I see a lot of people talk about their bows and arrows um, in terms of kinetic energy, which is something to take into account. You know, you want to know how much kinetic energy your bow has. Um, the problem with using kinetic energy is kinetic energy in relation to a bow is only as much, or as everybody else views it, is only as much energy that your bow can provide to the arrow that starts to go in motion. That's where kinetic energy kind of loses its relevance when it comes to, the whole speed thing um, in archery. So the difference between, you know, what we really should be talking about is momentum. And the difference between kinetic energy and momentum is that kinetic energy is only related to the amount of energy that something has statically, um, whereas momentum is the amount of energy with a direction. And that's the key point. Um, when people talk about, say, the whole debate with arrow mass, and so let's say this kinetic energy is half of mass times velocity squared. I can't break that down mathematically right now, but momentum has to do with directional. So think of kinetic energy as like a bomb going off, right? Like that's kind of going in all directions. It's um, not static. It's hard to explain, but momentum is that same energy but directional. Um, a lot of people focus on their mass and velocity just in terms of kinetic energy, which is where we lose sight of what's truly happening. Once your arrow leaves the bow, it is directional. That becomes momentum. Um, and you actually gain more momentum by having more mass. I'd have to do more research on it, but basically, a lighter arrow also, so like all this directional energy, the momentum factor, is as soon as your arrow leaves the bow, because of aerodynamics and how your arrow is set up, everything that happens to that arrow while it's in flight and when it hits your target is going to affect all of that energy. You're losing that energy at a specific rate once it leaves the bow. And that's where the 12 factors of arrow flight come into play at this point. So, a lighter arrow, let's just give an example of 450 grains, is going to lose more energy in flight than a 650 grain arrow. Yes, the 650 grain arrow, its velocity is going to be lower, but it's going to lose less momentum through flight until it hits its target. The velocity squared works against you in all of these equations. The lower your mass, velocity squared is going to work against you because of aerodynamics. So that's the drag of the arrow, because air has resistance, right? Your arrow is shooting, it's still shooting against something. Air is not nothing. It's not just space. There is something that it has to fly through, and it also has to fly through the animal because it's still in flight even if it's hitting the animal. So That's the biggest thing that I think that a lot of people are missing out on when it comes to kinetic energy in their bows and arrow setups, is you need to have more mass if you want to have a better penetrating arrow. So anyway, if you like this, I'll make more videos on this, but if you like this video, leave a comment and consider subscribing. I'm trying to build my channel a little bit, so thank you.